Hey guys, how are you? I just wanted to talk a little bit today about John and I, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday adventure to Las Vegas and our participation in the 2017 Encompass Experience. What an informative event that was. It was extremely well attended also. There was a better turnout than I've seen at the MBA conference even. So it's, without a doubt, automation and technology is on the forefront of our business, mortgage origination. So their release is long in waiting, talked about for quite some time, and now here. And we want to thank John also because of his interaction with Encompass, the fact that he's a certified Encompass admin, the fact that he's been in touch with this Ellie Mae Group, who is the company that programs and develops Encompass. John is on the list. We are on the list for the first rollout for Encompass Consumer Connect. Consumer Connect, wait until you see it. It's a phenomenal connectivity via the web for a borrower portal. Borrower can go in and through it, similar to a TurboTax connectivity activity, they can complete a loan application. What a much more simplified version, much more customer friendly interaction to complete a loan application anywhere. Actually, as far as that goes, the portal is scalable. You can do it on your phone. The demonstration that we saw was on stage with a phone, and it just happens just the same as if you were sitting at a desk, filling it out on a computer, or you can do it on a Mac device also. It can be on an iPad. So it's incredible. It's incredible connectivity for the consumer. So that is in the works. We're going to go live with that. I'm going to say, without committing John too terribly tight on this, by the end of this month, we'll have that integrated into the PFMD website, so that as today, each loan officer will have their own URL page so that a borrower can go in and do an application. Fun thing is the Loan Officer Connect piece is another module that Ellie Mae has. Both of these modules we've committed to, and we financed, or haven't financed, but we're eligible. We paid for them as part of what our agreement is with Ellie Mae. So that is ready to go. So all we need to do is drop them in place. The Loan Officer Connect piece is very similar to the Consumer Connect. Loan officer can be on an iPad, can be on their cell phone, can be on a laptop, can be on a desktop, anywhere. It doesn't even have to be your computer. You just have to have the credentials to log in and get the information. Fun part is if you have somebody that completes a loan application for you, instantaneously it's going to ping your cell phone if you choose to have that connected that way. So you could call them and say, thank you for applying. Here's how we're going to do this. The next step, you can facilitate the sales process that way. In addition, you'll be able to go in and take a look at statuses and things like that. So more to come on that. John actually has for us here today URLs that demonstrate these two Consumer Connect, Loan Officer Connect pieces. Also during the meeting, we had the pleasure of listening and meeting Bill Cowher, a former head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and what a dynamic guy. He talked about what it takes to create a winning team. It's not rocket science. He says there's three key elements to creating a winning team. First and foremost, he says you got to have a game plan. Secondly, you got to have the right people. And thirdly, it's all about attitude. So he talked a bit about that, and I know that we've talked about that at Pacific Funding, and any sales training that you might go to, or any business development processes that you learn. It's imperative that you have a plan. You know, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, basically. And then it's the people and it's the attitude, it's the spirit of the organization. You know, he says, you know, in his talk, there was a piece on staying informed. And in our application is, you know, stay informed, stay in it. You know, live in the mortgage industry. What do you hear going on out there? What's going on with the guidelines? You know, what kind of restrictions are they imposing? What kind of restrictions are they removing? You know, how do you present yourself fast and as an authority to your customers, whether you're talking to a real estate professional or you're talking to your client, the borrower. Making tough decisions, you know, empathetically. Telling a borrower that they're not going to qualify, or choosing to take blame. You know, making tough decisions empathetically. Just really don't lose your temper. Stay composed. Think through it. Give the benefit of the doubt to the other individual. That's a highly important piece of creating a cohesive team or being professional in what you do in your endeavors. And then develop nurturing relationships goes along with that one also. So, and there was something he went into a couple of the traits that he had learned from his father, and one that I took a note of that I really liked. It says, "Finish what you started, never quit, because if you quit, you will quit again." So think about that one for a little bit, and think in reality, it's very, very true. You know. And then I've got also here, never be intimidated by anyone. If you don't believe in yourself, you're really not going to be able to have other people believe in you as well. So that's a good characteristic, charismatic kind of a thought process there. And then finally, my notes, and like I say, this gentleman talked for an hour, and it was phenomenal. Enlightenment. You can definitely see how this personality was able to take a football organization and create such a successful legacy for himself. And this is probably the simplest and easiest thing for anybody to understand. It says, just do your job, people will notice. That's pretty plain and pretty simple. So that was Coach Cowher from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Had an opportunity to listen to him. More good stuff is on the technology phase. Is Fannie Mae and Ellie Mae are integrating their processes to make it seamless. We can set it up to where our AUS system runs in the background, to where any adjustments that are made to maybe value or to income or to assets, it'll be recasted and it'll check real time what's happening inside the loan file, and then send an alert up if there's an issue with the approval on that loan. Day one certainty, unbelievable. They've been building databases for years. They've got enough detail that, and this is artificial intelligence. That's the big push now, is that's their new focus is on artificial intelligence. What that is they got algorithms and they've got all these studies, and they'll say, okay, Mr. So-and-so, if you live in Newhall and you work for UPS and you have $95,000 in the bank or $20,000 in the bank, and this is your credit report, then you're approved. And the scary part of that is they can get all that fast. You push a button, apply, and also you authorize that they go to your depositor. If the borrower puts B of A in their asset section on their loan application, then B of A is going to drop their balances into that loan application instantaneously. When the borrower says he works for UPS, that file, that automated system from day one certainty is going to go out to the work number or whatever vendor that they are contracting with. And new vendors are being added all the time. And they're going to pull back in and say, yeah, there's DOE. Don't even need a pay stub to the guy. Is that mind blowing or what? And so you got the assets verified, you got the income verified, and you've got the credit verified. He's approved. That's how fast things are going down. And yes, in case you're wondering, that's what their pilot company, Quicken Loans, has been doing online. So that's available in Pacific Funding. With one caveat. March 21st, this month, Fannie Mae is coming to our office to approve us as a seller servicer. It's not a done deal, but we're pretty confident that we're going to get this designation. Once we have the designation, we'll have the tool. And then lastly, a little piece about what's happening in the mortgage industry. It's an interesting period of time. Volumes are way down. Interest rates are moving up. When interest rate market moves up, it's quite difficult actually on the originators, because a borrower is going to hear something yesterday and he's going to call you today, and it's never easy to tell a borrower, oh yeah, you got a quote yesterday from a competing lender, and that's that Mr. Borrower, that quote's really not good because the rates went up today. The borrower's gonna say, I know, he's told me that I had this. When you have a declining rate market, it's always easy on a loan officer, because if a borrower talked to a loan officer yesterday and got a quote and now calls you today, naturally you can be better. And so it's easy to get that deal. So in the animosity of our business, we have to be aware of this. This is another piece of staying informed. And with that, we had a little fun play yesterday. Lisa Taylor, John, and I were in our Nevada office in the conference room, and we did a secret shopper. We went online. We applied. We requested information or a quote from New American Financial. Within 20 seconds, John's telephone rang. The gal that answered the phone asked John a series of questions, asked about, does he have a real estate agent, what's going on, what would he like to purchase. She had a little punch list. I don't even think she was mortgage related. I think she was in a call center somewhere. And I don't even know if she was with New American. I think she might have been a vendor. Hey there.
Hello, there's a Tina calling from the Santa Clarita Chamber.
Put her in my voicemail, would you?
Okay, will do. Thank you.
I saw you roll back in. Give me a minute. I'm finishing something up.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. So, this gal says, hang on a minute, please, Mr. Ferry. I'm going to connect you with one of our top quality loan officers. Phone goes on silent. She comes back on and says, I've got Justin. He's one of our very best loan officers, and he's ready to talk to you right now. Justin came on. I got to tell you guys, this guy was a sharp kid. Okay, ran John down, talked about the interest rate, talked about closing costs, talked about escrow and title fees, and talked about what it meant, and gave John a verbal quote over the phone, and said, you know, as soon as you get into the contract, give me a call. I want to win your business. And there you have it. So we had this fun little play, and with what we have today coming out with Borrower Connect and the Borrower Portal and the Day One Certainty, this organization in the very near future is going to be able to deliver approvals to borrowers like anybody else in this country. So we're very excited about that. I actually may do something just to sample from start to finish. I have a nephew that is looking to do a loan here pretty quick. I'm going to consider walking through the process with my nephew on either Rocket Mortgage or one of these companies that you can go out there and listen to on the radio and pick up their name and call them, or grab them on a URL and do a loan application online. I may take them from start to finish, 2 or 3. Well, maybe I'll stop right at the finish line before they hit the funding button. How about that? Because I'm still going to take care of my nephew, but I'll be able to use his real transaction, his property, his income, his assets, his credit, and we're going to use him as a test case here. So what we want to be able to do is, this is a market survey essentially is what we're looking at. We want to be able to go out and say, this is how Quicken's doing it. This is how number 2 mortgage consumer direct company's doing it. This is how a credit union's doing it. We want to do that stuff. So that's coming up anyways. So we're on top of it. We're, like Coach Cower says, we're staying informed. We have all the tools. You know, there's not anything in the mortgage business industry that's there that we don't have access to currently in this organization, barring one thing, our Fannie Mae approval. So cross your fingers. Be sharp next Monday the 21st. Thank you very much. Keep working hard.